We trust that most of you attending this important program are familiar with the one-call law and fully comply. For those who don't comply with the law, the Attorney General is authorized to file suit in district court, where we ask the court to assess civil penalties and issue a court order prohibiting further violations. Here are the potential penalties for non-compliance. Violations involving natural gas or hazardous liquids pipelines may result in penalties of $10,000 per violation, up to a maximum of $500,000. Violations involving other underground facilities may result in penalties of $1,000 per violation, up to a maximum of $20,000. The kinds of activities that can subject oneself to an enforcement action include, but are not limited to, the following: failing to request locates prior to the excavation, requesting locates but failing to wait for the underground facilities to be located and marked within 48 hours, failing to timely renew a locate request prior to its expiration after 20 days, failing to notify the owner or operator of an underground facility of damage to the facility, failing to exercise due care when excavating in a marked area in order to avoid damaging an underground facility, and finally, failing to timely and accurately locate and mark an underground facility when requested. Our office has filed over 72 lawsuits in district court in 40 counties. The Attorney General's office has collected a total of over $347,000 in civil penalties in these lawsuits, and all but one of them has resulted in a court order prohibiting further violations, subjecting the violator to potential contempt of court sanctions if the violations were willful. Contempt of court can result in imprisonment for up to 6 months and/or additional fines. The office has partnered with the Iowa Utilities Board to assist in the investigation of complaints for violations of Iowa's one-call law.
So there are many ways a complaint can come to the Utilities Board. The most common is using a form found on the Attorney General's website, and the Attorney General will then forward those complaints to the Utilities Board. Some complaints are also filed directly with the board using the board's own complaint form on its website. Once the board's customer service staff has completed its investigation, it will summarize all the information collected and send that summary, as well as all of the collected evidence such as photographs, videos, markings, and witness statements, to the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General's office will then determine if a violation of the one-call statute occurred and what, if any, enforcement action needs to be taken.
Complaints may be submitted for violations of Iowa's one-call laws by excavators or underground facility owners or operators and third-party locating services. The Utility Board will also be assisting our office in collecting and evaluating excavation damage data and information, which will allow the state to better evaluate the effectiveness of our damage prevention programs and compliance with Iowa's one-call requirements.
The board's customer service staff will reach out to all involved parties, such as the owner of the facility, the excavator, as well as the person who called in the one-call ticket, a homeowner, a contractor, or anyone else who may have knowledge of the situation. The board will ask those people to provide statements and respond to any issues raised in the complaint. The board also works with the Federal Pipeline and Hazardous Material Safety Administration on pipeline safety-related matters. One area that PHMSA has noted in its assessment of Iowa's one-call damage prevention program is that the majority of complaints come from operators and very few are made by excavators. The Utilities Board strongly encourages anyone who witnesses a potential violation of the one-call statute to file a complaint and have us investigate.
This collaboration with the Utility Board will provide for a more timely and efficient investigation of complaints, which should lead to quicker resolution of those complaints. This collaboration will also enable the Attorney General's office to better focus its enforcement efforts to specific areas of concern. When followed, this law saves lives, prevents personal injuries, and protects essential utilities, property, and the environment. The law applies to anyone planning to engage in an excavation and to every owner or operator of an underground facility. Our office will continue to investigate and enforce noncompliance with Iowa's one-call statute. Remember, call or be called. Thank you.